Tobias, what does dry fiber forming actually mean for pack design for clients? What does it look like?
Well, um, it's a little bit of different approach because we have the preforming step, we have some wrinkling in the material, we have the forming step, and you cannot take a product drawing and wipe out PET, for instance, and write fiber on it. You have to redesign the part. But what we try, of course, is that we make it fit into the subsequential processes, like filling, labeling, sealing, whatever. So we try to not change the functional geometry of the parts, the sealing rim, the outer diameter, the shape. We try to adapt the fiber modifications into areas where it's not important for the functionality of the part. But of course, we have to redesign the parts slightly. But on the other hand, with the process we can match a lot of designs that are already on the market, like 500-gram yogurt cups, 150-gram yogurt cups, meat trays, um, battery packages. So a lot of shapes can be transferred to fiber into the process we use and then be used as a packaging form part for the same application.
So you mentioned a slight redesign of elements there on behalf of the customer. Let me talk about and ask you both. This is something we do a lot for clients, isn't it? But we don't really shout too much about it. Where we actually, not necessarily with the manufacturing teams, we're with the design teams talking about the best ways to build their packs for a certain format. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that? Do you want to start, Tom, and just talk a little bit more about what we do on that side, which isn't just selling machines, which a lot of people think ILLIG do, develop and sell machines. We're actually at the front end with the design team. Can you talk a little bit about that for me?
Yeah, sure. So we obviously have a packaging lab within the Germany headquarters, and in this environment, we can bring customers in. We can look at existing drawings. We can talk about their specifications, what their requirements might be. So it could be they have a top load requirement, or they need a certain um, definition. All of this stuff can be discussed at that stage, and we can also then help with designing those, or help contribute into the designing of that packaging to make sure that they're going to receive a machine and a product at the end of that machine. And then that works for their customer, it works for all the downstream equipment, and so on and so forth. So it's good to get us involved at the very start. Certainly when they're just looking at sort of redesign or packaging design. And it's even more critical when it comes to the dry fiber side of the topic.
Tobias, do you want anything to add to that, seeing as you're based over there in Germany?
Yes, of course. I think from my experience of 20 years in manufacturing industry, it's very important to involve the machine manufacturers and also maybe the material side when you have a new product. The projects where you do this are the most successful ones because everybody can bring in his own expertise in his area. Our expertise is automation and form part production, and we can see the design the customer gives us. We can make modifications in that early stage, adapt it to the machine, to the process, to handling systems, whatever you can imagine, and optimize the form into this direction from the process engineer's perspective. Of course, there's the designer that want to have a certain appearance in the point of sale. It should be look nice and attract the customers. But at the end, it has to be manufacturable. It has to be produced at a affordable cost point, and that's what we can assist on that